Good morning and welcome to our Thursday Live. I'm Jerry Dreessen, the Executive Director here at the Association of PEMF. And today we are going to be talking about PEMF and small animals. Now, if you happen to be joining us live and you have any questions or comments, feel free to type that in below. If it's after today's broadcast, again, drop everything in below there and we'll be more than happy to get to you on that. We are also live streaming on LinkedIn and we are live streaming on our YouTube channel as well. So with that, let me just jump over to the side here and we'll knock this banner out of the way. There we go. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about small animals, and we're talking about dogs and cats and, just even farm animals that are of the mid-size or smaller. And one of the phrases that I like is that with all animals, including humans, when you are treating the root of the problem, the root cause instead of the symptoms, then you are jumping into holistic medicine, and that enables our pets to regain and maintain their own health. And it is funny how the difference between being able to say the word treat and the word session is based on whether or not we have a degree. Even though we're doing the same treatment, we're doing the same procedure, we're using the same things. And so that's one of the things to be careful of when you are starting out in this business, is making sure you have that that type of verbiage. You're talking about that. So one of the things that I wanted to do today was talk to probably one of the most amazing leading experts on small animals, but I was not able to get him to, our calendars did not sync. But what I want to do is talk about an amazing person, and that's Dr. Marty Goldstein. And he has taken holistic medicine, natural holistic medicine, to a whole new level when treating animals. And he has some really good pieces of advice out there. He is a PEMF user. If you don't know anything about Marty, he's kind of the vet to the stars. He's been on Martha Stewart, talks about, treating with food, some things that we as humans need to do too, to rely less on medications and more on what's actually out there naturally. He's got a few books that are out, and his latest one is The Spirit of Animal Healing, and we're integrating medicine with higher state of well-being for animals. And these are really good guidelines. They are, those of you that are working on small animals, if you don't know anything about Dr. Marty, these are some, I'll have another book here in just a minute, but these are really good books to have, to learn from, and to use in your business. Because if you can integrate some of these things, and he has proven results. I mean, it just, the times that I've spent with him, talking with him, interviewing him in the past, just amazing stories that he's been able to witness working on animals just as much as we have on the human side too. So if you've come across questions like why animals get sick, or even when we try to give them the best of care, they still get sick. If you're looking for an exhaustive A to Z guide for pet ailments, again, he has an exhaustive guide on that. And then also, it definitely walks into why vaccines can do more harm than good. And this is probably, in any healthcare profession, one of the biggest supposedly taboos to talk about is how thou shalt not talk against vaccines. But again, what are vaccines trying to do? They're trying to do what our body has done naturally, and that is to come across a bad system and to be able to use our own immune system to go through and beat that. And that's kind of what vaccines are trying to do too. And then we have, hey, Dr. Rob Campbell, nice to see you. Thanks for joining me online today. But also, what is there that's out there that's natural? Because sometimes vaccines can have a really harmful effect in on animals. I've seen it myself. I've had like one of our first cats that we had developed a tumor right at the injection site. And again, there's no double-blind study. You can't say that that's exactly what happened because you can't prove it. And that's one of the weird things about vaccines. So I'll step down off of that podium now and talk about what's next here. And that's the link between diet and disease, and how the right diet can not only prevent disease, but actually reverse it. Again, correlations with the human side too. It's almost as if this makes sense for any animal on planet Earth. But also how acupuncture, homeopathy, chiropractic, and other alternative options work safely and painlessly, and also to restore true health. So when you are going through working with animals, small animals, again, if they're your animals, you have a really good idea what's going on for most of the time, because you can't always be around to see what they're ingesting or what they're sniffing or licking up or swallowing around the house. Or when you come to work on a client and you're doing a session on a client's animal, you don't know what their background is, what their health is. You might be able to determine whether or not they were from a litter that they knew about, or were they a rescue animal that got shipped up to their place from some other place or other country. So, those are the things that you need to be aware of. But these things all help and work really well. And again, with Dr. Marty, he has done extensive, not only research, but he's done enough of these things to have seen the pendulum swing in the direction he wants it to when he works on these products, or works with these products on animals. And then again, specific guidance for the use of herbs, supplements, and natural remedies. We were not designed to have macronutrients, like ingesting large amounts, large doses of things. We were designed to have small amounts over time. And that's, what homeopathy is all about too. And in fact, on the human side, we were more on the homeopathic side, where we were ingesting small amounts over time. And then the macroceutical mentality came in probably around the 1940s, 1950s, where if a little could help, then a lot would really be good. And so now we have this, large dose. And I often get asked this question too, and I'm sure you've asked it, is why does somebody that is 4'10" and somebody that's 6'3" both take the same size medication? Why isn't medication changed based on our body weight and our size? And it should be, in my opinion, because there are people that are getting way over medicated when medicine can help, but if you can be on the opposite side, you start getting into the side effects if you are taking too much on the toxic side. And then also the good and bad news about cancer in animals, including extraordinary new treatments and potential cures. And that's always been probably the biggest taboo online is, or even when you talk to people in a large audience, is saying cure for cancer. We're always looking for the cure for cancer, but to say that we have something that cures cancer is really tough, and can be a potential lawsuit if you're saying things and selling things with a promise. And that's always been what it's about. But again, if you've watched any presentation that Dr. Marty's done, you can see when he takes case studies where you see animals with large tumors, and then the things that he does, he actually sees tumors shrink and the health of the animal return. So really good information here. And then also, again, coping with the inevitable death of the pet, both physically and psychologically. So We get attached to our pets. My dad was born and raised on a farm, and he didn't get attached to any pet. In fact, their dogs, they would go through them probably one a year, just with how hard a work they would have. And so it was always Shep. The dog's name was always Shep. It was Shep 1, Shep 2, Shep 3. But again, it's different when you are living in an apartment with an animal and they become kind of your best friend versus if they're just a work dog. It's totally different set of mentality. But they are definitely things that need to be looked at and dealt with. The next book that I like that Marty's done, this is a while ago though, but it was using holistic medicine as far as caring and for dog and cats. And I think this is another must-have book. If you haven't seen it, this one I think is on audio as well. So if you like, driving around listening to books, this is a good one too. Really, really good information. Again, this is identifying pet ailments from A to Z. So for you to have in your wheelhouse the ability to recognize these things on animals, and then again, as you can see over here, using PEMF on them. And one of the things that if you have used PEMF on small animals, that they like it. They'll actually come to it. They'll lay down on the mat. Or like at our house, if we're using a PEMF, our cat will come and lay next to us, right next to the coil. And they're there because they're feeling something. It's not like they're running away. And in fact, that's probably 15 years ago. That's when I saw a video of a man holding a large hoop PEMF loop, and you could see the horse from out in the field run up to that loop and stand next to it, and you could see the horse's muscles twitch, and the loop wasn't even touching them. And that was a major event in my mind, is to see that happen. Is growing up with physical therapy where things had to be attached or stuck to the skin of whatever you're working on, human or animal. You would shave the animal and attach it on human. You would put a sticker on them. This wasn't even touching it, and the horse came from wherever they were and ran up to have that done. Kind of ruled out the placebo effect, because they were there because what they liked or what they were using they liked, they came and used it more. So using it on animals has a profound effect on their health. Those of you that have been using it know that. My son started a PEMF business for a few years, and he actually took it out on I don't know where he went, but it was a field dog. And the owner said, you put the pup back in my dog. He went from, aged hips to running around and shepherding again. So it has a profound immediate effect that you can see. Now, those of you that are interested, I know that Marty has a YouTube channel where he goes through some of these things. You can take a look there and see what's going on. And again, I endorse Dr. Marty with all the things that he says and does. And since our topic is on small animals, I think that everything that he has to say has a lot with what you can do. And in fact, our small animal course goes through a lot of the teachings that we glean from Dr. Goldstein as well. So if you've not been certified through the Association of PEMF, again, we pull a lot of our teachings, a lot of our education from the experts that are out there. And I want to thank Dr. Goldstein for helping us out putting together our coursework too. And again, what can you do? Well, those of you that treat animals, you can definitely use this as your research, but also know, like, and share. We are out there again. Like and share us, like this video that you're seeing right now, if it's on Facebook or YouTube. feel free to grab the link and share with a friend or another colleague that you know that's working on small animals or maybe thinking about it. The more we can spread good information and good knowledge out, the better we all do. So that's one of the reasons behind what we do here at the Association of PEMF Professionals. And again, if you are interested in becoming a member, you can go on to our website and look at what we have to do. We do certifications. We also do, when you're on the inside, we've got some other videos that teach you how to do other things, how to run your business or how to create a business, how to market yourself on social media, things like that. If you have any more questions or even tips, those of you that are out there doing this, I'm sure you've probably come up with a few things that I didn't even talk about, but please share those with us too, because the more we learn from you and the more that we can teach others about that, that's what we're all about too. So I want to thank you for taking the time today to watch us. And I look forward to talking about our next topic next week. It will be on large animals and horses. And I've got a guest that we'll be bringing on, and she'll be talking about how she uses PEMF on horses, but also on humans too. She has works on both, and looking forward to sharing that information with you as well. So with that, have a wonderful week, and we will see you next week. So take care.